That's a real. Oh, what? Is there a video on that? Can we? What? Wow.
Can you see
There
it
it
on
is.
screen? Take a look at
Yeah,
this.
there
That's
it
where
Oh
is.
our
my
best
God.
goes
Wow.
by.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Magma melting up this ice from bottom up, and they don't talk about it because, there's too much money making in CO2.
Put everything into global warming, blame people, and collect tax.
But still, it's the planet is changing regardless if the humans have an effect or don't. So those changes may or may not still happen whether we were on this planet or not.
To see that this kind of information is getting there, and scientists have been talking about it. But finally, thanks to TikTok, who would have thought we can hear their opinion? Welcome to our TikTok recording show. And today with us we have Mr. Martin Raul Favorito, all the way from California, a recording artist. He's doing music, he raps, he sings. He's doing amazing stuff, and he's very socially active. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
It's a pleasure being here, and thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate, both of you taking time out of your day and inviting me to come and join you guys.
Yeah, for sure. Martin, tell us a little bit more about your background and what do you do?
So I'm from California. I was born and raised in California, Long Beach. I was born in Long Beach. I grew up in a suburb city called Downey. And since I was younger, I played a lot of sports. So that's why I'm wearing an Ecuador jersey. I'm Ecuadorian. I'm half Ecuadorian, half Mexican, and a part Colombian, Chinese. So, but I'm ultimately
but 100% human, right?
Yeah, 100% human, and probably like 100% from California and the United States. So I am American, right? So that is it's cool. It's cool to be American. Sometimes, right?
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, right.
So tell us more about like what projects you're working on and like what else is in store for you.
I make music from time to time. I'm making music. If I'm not making music, I'm filming videos. I'm recording videos, directing videos, and sometimes even producing. I do help people with the social media pages as well. So like if I don't really post on my page, it's because I'm helping other people grow. And that is a part of my message. And what I really believe in life is that we should all help each other and we should all help each other grow. And like helping each other is key. I believe you guys had a Pyro Johnson here the other day.
We sure did.
I'm currently working on a project with him, and we made a song together, and it's called "We Got It," and it's really positive. And so we're currently working on a music video. We'll probably have that out within the next couple months, and should be really great.
Yeah. So Martin, in this world where everything is so negative, how do you find your positivity?
I stay around positive people and positive speaking people, positive living people who are constantly evolving or wanting to evolve, right? Maybe they don't know exactly how to, but they always strive to be better and do better. And if not, I'm alone. And sometimes being alone is great. And sometimes being alone is difficult for some people, right? But for me, I've found being alone is really positive sometimes because it's a peace of mind. So anytime I'm stressed out or angry, sometimes just going for a walk really changes everything.
Yeah. Well, when we met you with Mr. Johnson at the party, you were guys super positive. You were like the most positive people out there, and I felt the good vibes. And I was like, I have to get to know these people. And I heard your song, and it was so much, full of good messages, full of really, really good parts in there, the energy you put in there. So I was like, we have to get to know you better. And this is so amazing to have you with us. And today we prepared a few TikTok videos to watch with you, and they are socially important. There are videos that got popular on TikTok, they got some views, people's attention, and stuff that we don't usually see on TV, but something that affects all of us. So today we want to see them all, watch them all together with you, and to get to know your reaction, your opinion, and see what you think about those things.
Ooh, I'm excited. It's cool.
All right, let's roll the first one.
Yep.
Glaciers of Antarctica are melting from the bottom up due to the internal heat because hot magma rises up towards them. Under the glaciers, there is now warm water, which is heated by the subglacial volcanoes. Before today, we have been led to believe that the melting is the result of human activity, but it turns out to be an absolute lie. The anthropogenic factor has nothing to do with it.
What do you say?
Global warming, huh? It's almost like, yeah, I mean, do humans have an effect on the planet? For sure, without a doubt. I do believe that is true. Does the planet naturally react to and naturally change, right? The planet is always changing. So I feel that humans do have an effect on the planet, but still the planet is changing regardless if the humans have an effect or don't. So those changes may or may not still happen whether we were on this planet or not. That is ultimately how I feel about that.
For sure.
Well,
And do you think, yeah, Martin, do you think people know the difference between environment and climate change, or we just like put everything into global warming, blame people, and collect tax?
Whatever makes the world go round. It makes good media content sometimes. So I to each their own, right? Some people may believe both, and like some people may view climate change and environment change as the same thing. Some may view it differently. I personally, myself, I don't. If I'm gonna watch it media wise, I'm probably gonna see it in both, and they're probably gonna be tied together both in both ways.
Yeah, I'm totally agree with you. People have an effect. It's mostly ecology. It's like polluting plastic in the ocean and doing bad stuff, for the money. We don't care about the waste. As me and Martin, we live in Los Angeles. We know how many solar panels are on the houses. And, lately LA Times came out with an article that there is no technology to recycle them. So it's like we produce a lot of stuff that's going to pollute our planet. And like we don't even think about recycling it. So it's like money. And this is what I love about people. People like, yeah, something's wrong in there. Like, well, what are the points? And here is the key point. In this TikTok, I feel like it became so much viral because people feel like there's something missing over there. Like there is magma melting up this ice from bottom up, and they don't talk about it because, there's too much money making in CO2. So it's cool to see that this kind of information is getting there, and scientists have been talking about it. But finally, thanks to TikTok, who would have thought we can hear their opinion?
Yeah, not just dancing, but actually, things that make us smarter.
Yeah, that sounds cool. And we have video number 2.
Our planet has become a giant landfill. For example, less than 10% of plastic is recycled. The rest, we just throw away. Entire garbage islands have already been formed in the ocean. Microplastics have been found in the ice in Antarctica in 83% of tap water samples, and even in mothers' placentas. But it's a poison that contaminates people and nature. At the same time, the production of plastics is constantly growing.
Yeah, plastic is the enemy for sure. I'm sure I can walk outside right now. I'm really close to walking outside, and I can find plastic everywhere and anywhere. On the floor, probably on the curb, on the side of the street. And the fact that there's, like I said, legitimately there's like almost like a country, like right there's like videos where like there's a country of garbage in the ocean.
Oh yeah, it's just floating, right? It's like that's big. It's just floating in the ocean.
Yeah, that's for sure humans causing damage, and that's for sure not just to the planet, to the world, but other beings that aren't human, that are also alive, just like us, right? That's definitely very very something that for sure, if there is a solution, and I'm sure there is, that should be implemented every day, right? Because even plastics are not easy to be put back into the planet, although the planet can definitely, recycle the plastics. It's just, I don't know why they just continue to make plastic, and it's just like, because ultimately trash will always continue to be made, right? Like trash isn't gonna, there's always gonna be trash, but you can make different type of trash that's not plastic and better for the environment, right? It's just goes back to the what's the cheapest cost effective method, and ultimately that affects environments.
Environments a lot. Right. And even more to add to what you just said, plastic is, in fact, can you think about it, amazing material that can last for hundreds of years. It's not the plastic that is the enemy, it's the way people use it. People use it for one-time, single-time use. Amazing material that lasts hundreds of years. So the problem is like this consumeristic, or I would say commercialism, that makes people use whatever is cheaper. Because like if we change it to materials that are easy to recycle, or like, different materials, or use plastic in a different way, we could do that. There are technologies. It's just much more expensive. But if you think about it, what can be more expensive than human health and human life? And you see it's in mothers' placentas already. Shouldn't we start doing it? And this is the difference between ecology and the climate. This is ecology. Right. This is human caused.
Yeah, ecology is like, we did that.
That's
climate is like, oh, it's happening.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. And then, like you said, Tali, that it's a lot of like consumerism, and it's a lot of convenience too, right? So we live in this world of convenience, and sometimes, most of the time, you think what's convenient today, but in the long run, you're actually getting more sicker. Our planet is getting more sicker. Like, there is no benefit to convenience. What do you say, Martin?
Right, like water, right? So water is ultimately ever contaminated forever and ever and ever. But like a water bottle is majorly contaminated. Like I personally, I have a gallon that I carry around that's metal. Okay, cool. No worries. So I have a gallon that's about it's all metal, right? So I don't use any plastic water bottles, and because plastic water bottles, one, you're just throwing away more plastic and creating more plastic, more trash, and two, it's just more. Your water is contaminated even more now, because ultimately water is always contaminated, but now with plastic bottles, with heat, it contaminates even more.
Yeah. Use metal. And I believe we have video number 3 to watch.
I have time. Yeah.
All right, let's roll it.
Produce 1 t-shirt and 1 pairs of jeans. 1 kilo of cotton is needed. According to the World Wildlife Fund, it takes up to 20,000 liters of water to produce that 1 kilogram. 20,000 liters would be enough for 1 person for 27 years if they drink the norm, which is 2 liters a day. And this happens while the supply of fresh water is only 2.5% of the total amount of water on the planet. Do you understand that? At the same time, every 3rd inhabitant on the planet has no access to clean fresh water. Are genes really more important than human life?
Are they?
I make clothes, and clothes, there's nothing more important than not only human life, but just life in general, right? There's clothes is replaceable, human life is irreplaceable, animal life is irreplaceable, plant life is irreplaceable. Just clothes and material items are completely replaceable, and technically we don't need any of this stuff like these glasses, the hat, the shirt I'm wearing, the shoes. I'm not saying I'll go walk around naked every day, but you know, this we don't need anything. In reality, we lived many years without anything materialistic, right? It's just it's what you know. But
but I personally didn't realize how much water is being used to produce one pair of jeans. Like for me,
I didn't know that either, right?
I'm like, oh my God, that's a lot. Like if I knew this information, I probably only would have 2 pairs of jeans in my closet right now, not 7 or 8, because that makes a difference. Like now I know, and it seems like this information is purposely hidden from us, so we continue to consume and buy more and more without even thinking of like a larger picture of what's going on.
Right. I agree. Because I didn't know that it took that much water to create jeans.
It's a huge. Can you imagine? It's like 27 years they said of like amount of water that would last us so many years, and yeah.
I know, for one person, right? And we have so many people don't even have access to drinking water, and it's crazy.
Right.
Here we are all wearing jeans that just ate up all that water available. It's crazy.
And it's interesting because as you started talking about water and lack of water, you see the video was right there. And like what's happening with all this fashion culture, we know it usually ends up in the garbage or in the desert in Chile. There's a huge desert in Chile where, you know, tons of not even secondhand, sometimes even new items just
it's probably like Gucci and Louis Vuittons. That's where they all go to die instead.
Those are being burned. Yeah, so much of Gucci.
Desert in Chile.
Yeah.
For real? And that's a real. What? Is there a video on that? Can we what?
We'll find it for the next time for sure.
Yeah, that's
we'll find it for the next time.
Wow.
Yeah, because what I heard is that if the brand does not sell off their merchandise in that peak season, then they're not going to put it on sale. They're going to go ahead and burn it and then bring more to the market, because they can't sell it cheaper because it has to be at that price level, and they won't give it away because people are not going to buy it. So it's kind of like super, super sad of what we are doing. And now knowing that we use so much fresh water for clothing, it's just ridiculous.
Yep. Right. Called Atacama Desert. I encourage all our viewers to look into it and post in the comments, have you ever heard about this desert and about the facts that you found out in this very video.
Here, and you know what? I do have one question before we let you go. And we were wondering, because we were kind of like questioning what's going on in the world. And we were wondering what's happening in the United States and what's happening to the American dream. And can you define the American dream for us and what it is today?
That's a great question. What is the American dream? I'm still trying to figure that out, right? I'm actually in the midst of making a decision if I stay in the country or leave. That's personally me. I was born here. I have immigrant parents. They're not immigrants anymore, but I grew up with immigrant parents and an immigrant family, and to them, I feel since I was born here, there really isn't an American dream. I was born here. I'm American. I get to do what I want if I do it correctly and follow rules and maybe bend some rules here and there, not illegally, right? But just, and in a sense where it's like, if you're an immigrant, you come to America to have a better life or a better home than where you came from. So that's more or less like you have an American dream when you're not American. And then as an American, I'm kind of like, well, what if I just go somewhere else, another country, to figure out how I can live and how their culture is? Because all it is just, like I know I've been to other countries. So like people live different. They live happier with nothing. And like
So do
Americans
you
have
think
a
the
lot of
definition
resources.
of do you think the definition of the American dream has changed in the past maybe like 5 years since
Or
we have
the
like
definition is to live in
bitcoins
America.
now, we have crazy politics, we have like all of this. Has the definition of the American dream changed for the Americans?
I don't think so. For the Americans, no. I don't think the American dream has changed, right? It's just that and ultimately everybody has a different goal and a different dream. Some people might dream to become rich and famous. Some people might dream to just have a family. Some people might dream to I go to school, I become this and I become that.
Okay, what's your
I
dream?
don't go to school, right?
Yeah,
My
tell us
dream-
your dream. How do you imagine the perfect world?
Being able to retire my parents before they get too old, and retire them early, and being able to spread a positive message amongst others in the world, and whether that's through music or film, and being able to just be myself, to wake up and say, hey, I don't have to attend to anybody because this is work. It's more of that I woke up today, I'm feeling good, I can make the world feel great, I can make anybody who talks to me feel uplifted and positive, and knowing that I'm taken care of, my family's taken care of, and I can take care of anybody who is in my journey, right? Comes along in my journey, and somebody might need help, I'll be able to help them out. Whether it's emotionally, whether it's financially, whether it's just giving them advice, giving them a hug, any way to just make somebody's life better and just easier, because that's one thing I feel a lot of depression, a lot of negativity is around in the world, and like it even like music and even like culture, like it's not like I'm waiting, and maybe I shouldn't be waiting, I should be doing more to change that, right? Change that in a positive way to shine more light in the positivity and bring more positivity for others, and
Absolutely.
because like going back to being alone, like sometimes being alone, sometimes you have all types of people around you and family and love, and you still feel alone, but in a bad way, to where like you don't even know how to reach out for help, or like and then it's difficult sometimes, right? Not everything is just rainbows and sunshines. Like life can be tough sometimes, but you always got to make the best out of it, because gratefully we woke up today. Gratefully we're all here talking on the Zoom call, and we are able to spend time with each other, even if it's virtually. And I appreciate both of you, taking your time to invite me, and this was a great experience, and I really appreciate both of you and having me on here. That was really great.
Yeah.
It's been great. It's been our pleasure. Before we leave, our technical support has an image from that very desert in Chile. Can you see it on the screen? Take a look at this. That's where our
God.
Wow.
And they have this huge desert full of this just junk clothes. Yeah, this is what's happening.
That's crazy.
Wow.
And then we ship it to Chile, like Chile is not another part of our world, right? We ship it to other countries thinking it's another planet, but it's not. It's like our planet.
Right.
And like you said, everyone has a dream just to be happy, to be internally fulfilled. Like this is the dream everybody has. And our conditions right now allow us to consume more and more and more and complain more and more and more, instead of create and and make the change happen and be the change we want to be. So it's very important to request the society, have this electoral request from all the people saying, enough is enough. We want a society that values us as human beings, values us, our safety, our, everything. We have to have everything. We have to wake up and be happy. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of people are going to sleep miserable and never waking up. So it's kind of like that global shift that has to happen, because whatever is going on in the world, it's really not working out for any of us.
Right. It's just finding solutions and not being problematic, right? And anytime there's a problem, there's just a solution, right? I don't. I've gone through life, and a lot of people, some people like to argue, get in fights, and it's just creating more problems. It creates more problems, right? So you never win an argument. Nobody wins an argument. Even if you win the argument, you didn't win. You argued, you lost from the moment you argued. So
yeah, and the good news that we actually found the solution. Tali, tell us more about Creative Society.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, the thing is, like, as you said, people should really love one another more, and first of all, and second, most important, stop empowering people who do not care about us. We're giving away our power to the people who we know not gonna deliver on our promises. So why don't we people just request some kind of online platform on which we can make decisions collectively? We can request based on transparency of information about your healthcare, about education. We want free housing, universal housing. Most people want it. We have technologies. Let's just use our resources in the most efficient way to solve economical problems. Like, people really live so much better when they know that they're not gonna starve. They're gonna have food on the table. They're gonna have their bills covered. They're gonna have housing. They don't have to like worry about those things, about losing jobs, or like somebody's making so much money while other people losing everything, especially right now with inflation, with this
less hatred.
Yeah, less hatred. Let's recognize that all people are equal and put the value of human life on the first place. And when any decision is being made, let's say, how is that making our life better as humans? And that's it. That's what Creative Society is. Then when you have human life on the first place, and you have this online platform on which we can request or recall anyone from the power when they're not doing their job well, this is going to be the way out.
Yeah, and definitely no power. We need responsibility. We do not need power in the world. It's not working out for anyone. It's just bad idea. Whoever came up with it, he gets an F. But we really need to take personal responsibility. And like today, Martin, you came on the show, you shared with us your understandings, and it's so easy to communicate with each other, even if it's online. And that's all we need to do. We pretend like we're all so separated, and the media separated us even further. But at the end of the day, we all live on one planet. We all have highest value, which is our own life. Like, this needs to be protected. And if human life is protected, all the animals, plants, planet, ecology, everything will be taken care of, because we're no longer going to be fighting each other and killing each other. We're actually going to be starting to develop and create and finally travel to another planet to have a vacation, not just to dream about a vacation. So that's the type of future I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, it's a positive one for sure.
Yeah. And once again, you're making super good music. Let's make another episode with you and Mr. Johnson when you have the song coming out, and we're really looking forward.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah, and we will listen to it, and we'll give you our reaction.
That'll be great. That'll be great.
Having your song here. Sounds
awesome,
cool.
Martin. Well, thank you so much for being with us. And also for anyone who is listening, we are volunteers for Creative Society. It's a society of everyone's dreams. And if you have never heard about it, just visit creativesociety.com and learn about all the benefits we will have in a creative society if we choose to live like human beings.
Have a blessed day, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.